G'day everyone. This is just a quick video, 10 minutes of just a shakedown paddle that I was having in a local river on the outskirts of my city. This river is a tidal river, and you can see how far up the tide comes. About half a kilometre away from where I am now, it exits into the sea, so there's a small amount of salt water at this part of the river, and you can see from the surface of the water that the wind is blowing a bit. Now, at this point in time, I'm just sitting at the back of the canoe, and the bow is being pushed around by the wind. So this is why I'm sort of like veering from one side to the other. In a while, what I'll do is I'll actually jump into the middle of the canoe and kneel, and I get much better control over that part. Now this is just a little tributary coming into the river. There's actually a reservoir at the end of this, but it's walled off. So I just thought I'd paddle up here, and you can see the tide is out. And some good steering skills there. And also wanted to have a look at the bank, but there's the reservoir on the other side of that wall, and there's some outlets, and what I did is I stopped on the side here and just jumped out for 5 minutes to stretch the legs. The water here was quite clear, which was unexpected. The water on the main river is quite cloudy and quite dirty, so it's dirty from silt, not from anything else. But I didn't really see any fish. There are a lot of people fishing in this river. One wonders what they're catching. Here you can see I'm back on to the another tributary. This is further up the river again, probably another kilometre on from where I am. But this is just a small river. It goes for about 4 or 5 kilometres further on than where I went to, and you can see the water changes from being cloudy to clear in places, and again it's low tide. You can see from the bank. You can see from the colour of the bank as well that the water typically carries a lot of silt. And I'd kind of got the hang of paddling by now, and I'm sitting in the middle of the canoe. So what I was trying to do around here was to see how quickly I could go, but using the minimal amount of effort paddling. Managed to get up a good old pace. As you can see, this is back in normal time, and was trucking along quite well, and it worked out quite well. This is also, as the tide is just starting to turn now, so this is probably dead water. I would have been going with the tide normally. And not too far up from here, I decided to turn around. Just really having a look at the type of plants and things around on the side of the bank, and I wanted to have a look at some of the industrial zones, buildings that are overlooking the river. Now at this point in time, I'm sort of like heading back towards where I started from, a good hour's worth of paddling. What you probably can't see too well is that the tide is now coming in, and over the next hour it does actually come up to the top of that high tide mark. So at this stage I was starting to have to paddle upstream and put a little bit of effort into it. Also, the wind was blowing towards me as well. So here I was in the middle of the main stream, and I got caught by headwind. So I actually had to go off to the side and paddle along the side for a bit, and then another 200 or 300 yards further up I came to this spot. The water's still travelling towards me quite quickly, but the wind had stopped, so I was able to just sit back and relax. And I think at this stage I also jumped back into the back of the canoe, sat on the seat. And this is just coming back through a local township. I just wanted to go under these bridges. There's a boating club under there on the left, and some cafes and things. And I'm not sure if you can see the birds on the left hand side there, but under this bridge span was quite a lot of pigeons. Seems to be the local colony there. And this chap said hello as well. You can see the pigeons up there on the nest, all crowded in. And the weather was quite good. It was probably about 25 degrees Celsius on the day, and the wind wasn't too hot or too cold either. I think up on the right hand side here there's also a rowing club of some kind as well. At high tide you get a lot of boats coming up the river. It's probably not deep enough for them to come up at low tide. I noticed a few people in jet boats doing it, but with an outboard engine. The centre channel would have been all that one could go in. But at high tide people were coming and going. And there's my closing credits, and basically it took me an hour to get back to where I was, but it was a good shakedown ride, and thoroughly enjoyed it. I'll have to do a few more of those, get some practice in, and that's it.